everybody and welcome to another Wednesday Wow on the Jensory YouTube channel. My name's Jen, I'm a special needs teacher if anyone is tuning in for the first time. Now if you've tuned into these videos before, you'll be aware now that the Wednesday Wows are all about creating a bit of sensory magic and a bit of awe and wonder, and our pirate themed one this week is no exception to that. So I will put up the resource list that you need for this activity on the screen now and then we'll get started. Now those of you that have tuned into Wednesday Wows before, particularly the Rainforest theme week, will recognise this kind of an activity. Now we are doing a den building A-frame activity of sorts, but it is going to be a little bit different and we are going to tune into some different senses today. So what you need for this activity is a big umbrella. As I say, the bigger the better. That being said, if you've only got a little one at home, a bit like this one here, that will work fine. For this activity, the darker the umbrella the better, but again I always strongly advocate using what you've got. You can always cover it with a dark piece of material or a towel or anything that you've got at home just to darken it. I will say however, the darkening of this is one of the things that makes this activity what it is, so that's what you need. You either need a blanket or a darker umbrella, one of the two. Now alongside the umbrella, our other main stimulus today is black bin bags. Now again, using black would be great, but use what you've got. I will say about these, obviously they are bags, so we need to be careful of suffocation, but actually what we're using these for is sort of in place of material, so we're going to rip them open. Now the great thing about using bin bags is A, they're really cheap, and B, you can put holes in them, so when you're hanging them onto umbrellas or things, you can literally just make a hole whenever you want to hang them on and they'll hang from it however you want them to. What we're going to try and do is create a pirate cove, so we're going to try and darken this space, bring it all in together. If you've got children that are able, it's brilliant for them to get involved in this because it's going to bring out that creativity and build self-confidence. I will say, if you are going to get your children involved in this, try not to overtake. Sometimes as adults, we're so quick to jump in there and go, no, put it on like this will look better. But actually it's all about building that self-esteem in your children or your learners, and making sure that they have ownership over it. So really let them do it if they're able to do it. So I'm going to crack on and use these bin bags to create a dark, mystical pirate's cove out of this umbrella, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you some different ways that you can use this with different learners, and the kind of things that you're looking out for when you're doing this activity. Okay, now I've covered the whole of the umbrella with the bin bags. I've torn them all up, attached them on the inside, the outside to make this lovely pirate cove. Now I will stress again, please don't leave your learners with the bags. Make sure they're supported and supervised at all times. I'm just going to talk to you about some of the different ways that we can use this with different learners, okay? So if you've got a PMLD or an early developmental learner, again, you're going to lie them underneath it. Now, I really want to stress at this point that this is not about tactile stimuli. We haven't got things on the inside dangling like we did for the rainforest den. What we are going to focus in on though are visual and auditory as our senses, our main senses for this activity. So I put on the resource list a torch. Now any torch will work for this, but I will give another plug to these fantastic Aurora lights. This one's called Aurora Master, I think, but you can get these online for about £20, and there's lots of different variations on them, but they're all really fab. Just to show you as well, you can literally just go through the colours as well. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to put it, I think, on red for this one, just so it creates a nice creepy den. So basically, if you've got a PMLD or an early developmental learner lying in there, you're just going to illuminate parts of the den like that and just hold the light on a particular part of it, let them focus in on it, and then slowly move the light round the den and just see if they can track that light going across, see if they can move their head and relocate where the light might have gone to. Also, it illuminates the den in a really beautiful way as well. Now again, if you've got children that are role play and imaginative play ready, that's going to illuminate it. They can go in with their own torch and have some really good fun to just look around the cave. Now, I really importantly want to talk about something called controlled risk, which is really what this whole activity is about today. And we're going to do that through using music and the auditory sense. Now, what I really suggest you do with this is put on some music that's quite scary. So you can find some on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube, some sort of scary pirate kind of music, and put that on under the den. Now, what that's going to do is evoke those feelings of feeling a little bit uneasy in our learners. Now, if you've got children that are role play and imaginative play ready, that might make them feel a little bit scared, but actually what we've done is control the situation. We're there to support them, and actually it's almost practicing those feelings of feeling a bit uneasy and how to overcome them, and that's a really important skill that we need our learners and particularly our children to understand, and encourage them to kind of go in there when they're feeling a little bit uneasy and have that courage to overcome things that they're finding a little bit difficult. So it's a really, really good way of doing that. Now, sometimes when we think about multisensory learning, we sometimes get caught up in the word multisensory, and by default think that we need to use all of the senses all at the same time. Now, that's overwhelming for anyone, and that's particularly overwhelming if you've got a visual impairment or a hearing impairment. So what I would say is, if you're going to do auditory or visual with the torch, do them separately, just so they've got time to really, really focus in on which particular sense they're using. So if you are going to do the auditory, you want to get your phone or your iPad or whatever sound speaker that you're using, and again, just put it on one side, do a little bit of tracking to the other side, see if they can follow the sound. You could even turn it on and off, do a little bit of building anticipation to see if they can remember that it's going to start again. And if you don't want to use pirate scary music because you think actually my child or my learner isn't quite ready for that emotional regulation yet, then you can use something like ocean waves, or just some happy pirate music that can start and stop as well if you don't quite want to make it that scary yet. So I've put my light in there, it's glowing away in a slightly creepy red way. I've also got my trusty chest that I used on Monday. I filled it up with all of my lovely pirate treasure, so it makes a really nice sound. I'm going to whack that in there as well. Again, if you've got children that want to do imaginative play and role play, that's going to be a lovely play resource that they can use in the den as well. They can dress up, they can do some counting, they can do some fine motor skills, they can sit for however long they want to in their den as well. As always, take your time with it. Get children involved if they're at the level where they want to build it. If you've got those babies or PMLD learners or those that are lying underneath it, really, really take your time to let them really slowly understand where they are and what's happening around them. And there is my lovely pirate cave glowing away nicely. I've put the aurora light in there. I've put my treasure chest in there just to accommodate different kinds of learners. One thing I will quickly mention that I discovered and thought about the other day, I thought I must tell you all, if you haven't got a torch at home, most phones have a torch feature on them now, and if not, you can download apps for free that create a torch out of the flash on your phone. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't have a torch, that's a really, really good way of doing visual tracking and creating awe and wonder in these kind of activities. So there you go, handy tip for you. And that's it, so have lots of fun with it. As always, it's a really nice pirate theme activity, this one. I will see you on Friday, ready for a lovely pirate sing-along for our Friday interactive session. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and please, please do share this with anyone that you think would benefit. That's the whole aim of these videos, to try and reach as many people as possible during this time. So thank you for watching and listening as always, and I'll see you on Friday. Take care. Bye.